the worst storm here in 100 years.
The hurricane, reaching up to 80 kilometres per hour, was the deadliest
in the storm that brought high winds, hail and heavy rain. The BBC noted reports of winds up to 70 miles per hour.
With long, cold winters, Moscow is used to harsh weather. It is not used to this.
Towns and villages in southwestern Sri Lanka. And Cyclone Mora showed it no mercy when it hit southeast Bangladesh.
We are used to rains and flooding in our area, but this year it has been unusual. We have never experienced such floods in 70 years.
That and destruction on a scale not seen.
In a cruel twist, the land which just weeks ago was cracking with drought is now dangerously unstable.
Oh my God! Woo!
A ferocious storm in South Africa has left at least 8 people dead.
12-metre waves pummeled the coast, flipping cars.
More were slammed by smashing waves during the city's worst storm in 3 decades.
Cape Town has lately been suffering one of the most severe droughts in years. Meanwhile, in Knysna, authorities are struggling to control another natural disaster, a wildfire.
And as the city of Cape Town deals with the aftermath of Wednesday's freak storm, firefighters in the town of Knysna, about 500 kilometers away, are battling a deadly inferno.
Absolute scenes of devastation, and many are so shell-shocked here.
But it's a modern reality of the El Niño world we live in, where weather patterns are extreme, and I'm afraid Cape Town has taken a pummeling these last 24 hours.
So this is act of God territory. This is not something that you can do much about. You just have to roll with it.
The thing that's also we should realize, the number of natural disasters that we've had and natural challenges that the world's faced has actually increased at a significantly higher rate. There has been a change.
Now to that severe weather across the country, wildfires forcing evacuations in Washington, and multiple twisters tearing through the Midwest. Ginger is tracking it all. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Michael. We've got striking images coming from southern Minnesota. This was just last night. You can see the power flashes there. Thankfully, no one was injured. One farm was damaged. But this morning, a much more dire situation happening. Fire officials in central Washington state saying all of these folks, nearly 80 homes, need to get out right now. This morning, a fast-moving wildfire near Quincy, Washington, forcing level 3 evacuations for more than 80 homes.
Stay clear of the area.
The wording from officials, get out now. It's called the Monument Hill Fire, and earlier it knocked out power for hundreds in Grant County. At least 500 acres burning, sending heavy smoke and flames into the night sky. In Minnesota, 8 reported tornadoes. Tornado down, tornado down. This one in Lafayette, just southwest of Minneapolis, sending debris flying and power lines flashing. From Indiana to Texas, tennis ball-sized hail and winds to nearly 80 miles per hour.
Man, this is getting worse.
The winds shredding power lines, blowing this store roof straight across an intersection. That same low-pressure system that caused those tornadoes in Minnesota now moves to the east, and I think there's a heart of action here that happens Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, Michigan, along the warm front, and then south into Lansing, Detroit, Toledo, down into parts of northeastern Indiana. So today, if you live in that region, later this afternoon and evening, that's the area we're watching for the potential for tornadoes, but also damaging wind and hail. A whole lot.
That rare solar eclipse is now just 5 days away. We're going to tell you how communities are preparing and authorities are issuing emergency warnings for the estimated 12 million people who are already in its path, and the more than 7 million expected to travel to see it. ABC's Steve Osunsami, he's in one of those prime viewing spots with a front row seat. He's in Blairsville, Georgia, with more. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Michael. Next week, they plan to have a big tailgate party at the Art Center directly behind me, and they're hoping they won't have all these clouds because the big show will be in the sky. The interest in this eclipse is so high, they're expecting larger crowds than they know how to handle.